$84,000. That was my dream money gone the second I saw that silver Tahoe sitting in my driveway and a woman in yoga pants pointing a shotgun at me like she'd been waiting for this exact moment. She yelled, "Get off my property before I call the sheriff." And I just stood there, cold mountain air biting my face, holding the deed to the cabin I'd just bought. I thought it was a mistake. It had to be. But it wasn't. The smell of someone else's dinner was drifting out the window, and new curtains I didn't buy were hanging in my house. My house. Name's Mason Reed. I'm 52, retired electrician out of Cleveland. I spent 30 years climbing poles in freezing rain, fixing transformers while everyone else stayed warm. My wife Jenny used to say I was born with wire cutters in my hands. Before she passed from cancer 3 years ago, she told me, "Mason, don't just survive after I'm gone, go live." So I did what I thought she meant. I bought a beat-up A-frame cabin on a West Virginia ridge, 40 acres of forest and sky. I saw the photos online, wood siding peeling like old paint chimney, cracked porch sagging. But it had bones and it had peace. I paid cash. Got the inspection title search, all of it clean. Or so I thought. My buddy Frank rode down with me the day I went to see it in person. We were going to fix it up ourselves, 2 old-timers and a 6-pack of Iron City beer. We hit the gravel road and I swear I felt 10 years younger. Pine trees thick around us, smell of creek water, mountain fog curling off the ridges. And then we turned the corner and there it was. The Tahoe, a contractor truck, a Camry, smoke from the chimney. Frank said, "Mason, somebody's living here." The front door swung open. Out came this woman, blonde hair, sprayed, stiff face, painted like she was heading to court. Not the woods. "This is private property," she barked. "You're trespassing." I showed her my papers, but she jabbed her finger at them. "Fake," she said. "My uncle built this place. You've been scammed." Then some guy in a camo hoodie stepped out behind her, chewing a toothpick like he owned the mountain. "Sheriff will clear this up," he said, already dialing. 20 minutes later, the sheriff pulled up a guy built like a barrel wearing mirrored shades that reflected nothing but trouble. He shook hands with the husband first. Didn't even look at me. After a quick chat, he turned and said, "This is a civil matter, fellas. Take it to court. Nobody's getting evicted today." And just like that, he drove away. I stood there, deed in my hand, watching strangers cook dinner in my kitchen. That night I couldn't sleep in the roadside motel I found down the valley. Mildew, flickering neon light, humming air conditioner that smelled like cigarettes. I sat up half the night reading West Virginia property law like my life depended on it. Turns out the woman, her name's Valerie Coleman, wasn't some random squatter. She was a real estate agent, the top one in the whole county. Her husband, Ray County building inspector, small-town royalty, and they knew the system better than I ever could. Next morning, I got a letter emailed from some Charleston law firm, cease and desist. They claimed I'd bought a defective title. Threatened harassment charges if I came near the property again. My credit line back home got frozen 2 days later. Anonymous complaint. Coincidence? I doubt it. Ray Coleman had friends everywhere. So I found help, an old lawyer named Evelyn Hart. 68, retired twice, but still mean as a snake when it came to property law. Her office was stacked floor to ceiling with coffee cups and paper towers. "Honey," she said after skimming my documents, "you own that place clean. But these folks, they're playing long game. They'll stall you until you break." She wasn't wrong. Valerie filed motions, delays, fake affidavits, anything to buy time. Meanwhile, they started adding on to my cabin. I'm talking new deck, fresh paint, even a little stone walkway out front. I drove by once and saw workers pouring concrete like it was theirs. I filmed it from the road. Evelyn told me to let it happen, it'd hang them later. Then the smear campaign started. Valerie posted online that I'd scammed her family, stole her ancestral land. Local Facebook pages lit up. City thief robs local family. I got voicemails telling me to watch my back on mountain roads. One night a guy left a message that said, "You won't make it to court alive." That's when I realized this wasn't about a house anymore. It was about power. But the mountains got a way of giving you allies you didn't expect. One afternoon in the diner, a retired clerk named June recognized my name. "You're fighting the Colemans, huh?" she said. "Sit down. I've seen their tricks before." She helped me dig through old county archives, dusty as tombs. We found the original deed, 1974, sold to a Pennsylvania investor. Then a rental agreement from 1985. Valerie's uncle, just a tenant. Evicted for non-payment. No ownership. No family legacy. Evelyn nearly cried when she saw the proof. "We've got them," she said. She filed for emergency hearing. This time, a visiting judge, not one of Ray's buddies, took the case. Ordered all construction stopped immediately. But Valerie wasn't done. She filed a restraining order claiming I was stalking her. Suddenly, I couldn't come within 500 feet of my own property. The irony could have killed me. Then it got dark. Somebody slashed my truck tires at the motel, smashed the windows, spray-painted "thief" across the hood. Sheriff didn't even write a report. "Probably kids," he said. "Yeah, sure, kids who use industrial paint and know my name." I was close to giving up. Then Frank showed me drone footage he'd taken, proof Ray's crew had been living in that house before the auction even happened. I hired a PI to confirm it, and sure enough, Valerie's daughter had posted photos from inside the cabin months before I bought it. They'd squatted on bank-owned property, then stayed when it sold. That changed everything. Evelyn filed new charges: fraud, conspiracy, theft by deception. The county panicked. Ray got suspended. The sheriff suddenly found his sense of duty. But the Colemans went nuclear. They planted oil drums in the basement and called the fire marshal, claiming I'd stored hazardous waste. Lucky for me, we had a reporter from the Charleston Herald on site for the inspection. Those drums registered to Ray's construction company. Illegal dumping. Environmental crime. Valerie lost her mind, lunged at the reporter, got herself arrested on camera. When I finally stepped back into that cabin, it didn't feel like a victory. The place was trashed, walls smashed, plumbing ripped out, words like "liar" spray-painted across the living room. But I wasn't broken. We cleaned it up piece by piece. Local folks, some who'd believed Valerie's lies, started showing up to help. Union guys from my old trade sent tools. Church ladies brought food. Somewhere in that mess, I stopped being the outsider. A few months later, we held an open house. I wanted everyone's supporters, skeptics, media to see the truth. Sunshine barbecue music. I stood on the new porch, told them everything, laid out the records. Then, like a bad dream that refused to end, Valerie stumbled in drunk mascara, running screaming that I'd stolen her family's land. Cameras rolled. I didn't yell back. I just showed the timeline. The real deeds. The proof that her story was built on lies. She broke down right there, crying into the dirt. Said she just wanted her kids to have something. I told her, "Then you should have asked for help, not taken what wasn't yours." Turned out that day cracked open more than just her lie. Investigators found Ray had pulled the same stunt on 9 other properties. Bribes, fake inspections, stolen materials. Whole network of corruption. The state called it systemic failure. I just called it small-town rot finally seeing daylight. Ray's serving 8 years now. Valerie got probation, restitution, and a lifetime ban from real estate. Their daughter, who'd helped vandalize my place, apologized, started paying me back bit by bit. And somehow I forgave her. Now the cabin's whole again. I built a porch swing, scattered Jenny's ashes out back by the creek. Feels like she's part of the land now. Folks in town stop by sometimes for advice. We started a little clinic, me, Evelyn, and some volunteers helping people fight bad deeds and HOA nightmares. They even passed a law named after me, the READ Act. Cut squatter protection time to 72 hours. Never thought a tired old lineman would end up changing legislation. Sometimes I sit on that porch at sunset, coffee in hand, and think about how close I came to walking away. If I had, they'd still be doing it to someone else. Now they can't. Last week I got a letter from a guy in Oregon. Said he's dealing with a crooked HOA trying to seize his lake cabin. Asked how I fought back. I smiled, folded the letter and put it in my pocket. Guess the fight's not over. So yeah, if you've ever had your land, your home, or your peace taken by people who think rules only apply to others, tell me your story down below. I read every comment. Because sometimes when the system looks the other way, the only way to fix it is to stand your ground and keep fighting until the truth finally makes noise.